You know, we obviously played a decent game, but it's really hard to win when you shoot 28%. And it's kind of been the story of our year. We only turned over 11 times. We defended pretty well, rebounded the ball pretty well, and unfortunately, we didn't do enough on the offensive end to win it. I want to make a point that all of our players that were left standing throughout the end of the year did a great job of playing as hard as they could at all times. And that says a lot about them as people and as players, and I appreciate their efforts. I also appreciate Eric Strangis, our only senior, who's a walk-on, that started tonight. I thought he did a great job for us all year long of, you know, doing what he could. And, you know, we never dreamed that we would start the first game with Eric Strangis and end the first game with Eric Strangis, but that's kind of the way our year went. Moving forward, what we have to do is, as a group, is get a bad taste out of our mouth from this year, which we will. Get some guys healthy, get back to work after the Final Four, and make sure that we have a great team next year, which we plan on doing. It's, I appreciate two groups tremendously, our players and our fans, for their support of what they did, and our players for the effort they put forth and how hard they fought against some pretty tough odds a lot of times. So they never gave in. They did what they could and did what they should, and that's do your job every single day.
All right, questions?
This question is for Byron. It seemed like in the first half you guys were a lot more aggressive. What happened in the second half? Was it fatigue? Was it just the defense?
Honestly, I don't know the answer. We came out strong. We had a lot of energy the first half. We had a lot of momentum. Second half, we had the same game plan, wanted to come out strong, but things just didn't pan out.
Coach O'Neal, L.T.WILLIS, T.G.SPORTS. The first half, I know, was different than the second. But in your mind as a coach, when you look at everything from the rebounding, is there anything different that you thought about now that maybe you might make different adjustments after the game was over? That you
During this game we just played?
Yes, that's correct.
You know, if you look at the rebound, if you watch warm-ups, they're going to out-rebound us, okay? They're bigger than us at every spot, obviously, and depth-wise, you know, we don't really have an answer for their size. I mean, from Josh right through their whole front line, I think they're one of the best front lines in the whole country. And so that's a tough matchup for us. We did a good job of gang rebounding and guard rebounding in the first half. I really didn't have any adjustments I could have made, I don't think. And, you know, I thought our team really came out and executed well. The way the half ended, the first half, set us up for failure in the second half, to be honest with you, and put us in a position where they had the momentum. But I think they kind of just wore us down on the boards. You know, that's their size got us.
We'll open with a few remarks, followed by questions and answers. And if you guys can, remember, just try to name an identification. Thanks so much.
Well, I thought obviously the first 10, 12 minutes of the first half, we were really, you know, a step slow, out of sync, and the premise of their defense is to pack everybody in and make you take jump shots. We took about 5 jump shots right away early in the game and missed all of them, and it seemed like it just continued to snowball, and then finally Zeke hit a few and we got down 7 or 8 and brought us back. We didn't take advantage of our scoring inside until the second half, and then the second half we came out right away and jumped on them, and obviously our defense kept us in the first half and kept us in the game. We won the game today by shooting. Normally you don't win games by 15, shooting 33% from the field, but we were good enough defensively to hold them to 28%, and you know, they've been through a long year, a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries. We're talking about the Trojans. But I knew this would be a difficult game because it's SC UCLA, and it would just, you know, they're playing with, you know, a lot of pride after everything they've been through, and you got to give them some credit. I'm glad we got through this. I'm glad we got the W. You know, playing in Staples is a little different for our players. Playing in the Pro Arena, I was at a function with Kevin on Monday, where he brought that up. That you know, it's little different when you're playing in pro arenas versus anywhere else, and So I'm glad we got this one done, and now we play a tough Arizona team, obviously, tomorrow at 2:30.
All right, open for questions.
Yeah, Beth Harris, AP. Why didn't you play Josh at all in the first half?
Josh was 4 minutes late to the bus all the way from JW Marriott with the team over to here. So we left him, and he was late 4 minutes. He hasn't been late one other time the whole year. But that being said, I wasn't going to play him in the first half being late 4 minutes for the team bus. And it hurt us because obviously he's our best inside scoring threat, and we had a real size advantage with him. And it hasn't been something that's been a problem in terms of him ever being late to the bus, but I don't care. This is too big and too important.
Coach Ted Sobel, KFWB. Even though they pack it in defensively, how come you guys didn't go more to your bigs in the first half, though? You still had height advantage.
Yeah, I thought that they packed it in. When the ball goes into the post, I think they did a really good job, meaning SC, at covering down. And I thought that our bigs, Travis and Dave, have got to seal better. I don't think they sealed as well as they needed to in the first half, and did a better job in the second half at doing that, keeping their body on the man when they had him playing behind them.
We respect your decision about benching Josh. I mean, you had to have standards for the team to follow. In your mind, when did you start seeing your team start growing as a team, as a family, and they start putting things together for you? You gave them the X's and the O's, but now you start saying my team is starting to play where they're supposed to be. So when did that start taking place for your team?
Well, I think our team has evolved throughout the season. I think we're a much better team than we were back in November. So I don't think that is something that's recent. I think we've evolved. It takes time. We're playing. Everybody's a sophomore that plays major minutes, with the exception of the two senior guards, Jeremy and Lazarick.
The last time you and I talked was at the Pac-12 Media Day. Now, from that time on to this point right now, have you saw anybody significant that you said, really stepped up and really helped us this year?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys. I think Norman Powell's really improved dramatically. I thought his defense was critical in the first half today for us. I think he's improved a lot. I think Tyler Lamb has really done a great job for us and is playing well as the season's progressed. I think he had his best week last week in those two games against Washington State and Washington. I think there's a lot of guys that have stepped up. I think that the Wares have continued to improve and become better and better players.
Thank you very much, Coach.
You bet.
Good luck to you tomorrow.
See you.
Thank you. Pleasure.